Okay, hello everyone to hello to everyone that is watching this. Stumbled over my words there, not the best start. But yeah, hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to another client interview. You're joined with myself. My name is Noor, and I run the operations side of EasyGrow. And today I'm joined by one of our fantastic clients, William, who managed to achieve a very, significant landmark or milestone in such a short time frame, and I'm really excited to interview him today. So, William, without further ado, I know we spoke just before this. For people that are watching this right now, why don't you give them a basic introduction of who you are, who you serve, and what transformation you deliver for your market?
Yeah, sure. So my name is William Russell. I'm the CEO here at Narif Solar Marketing. And what were the three? Sorry. Who we serve? We serve solar companies. We help them get clients. So, getting them qualified meetings is our main priority, helping them build their pipeline, helping them build their businesses predictably. And yeah, that's a little bit of intro. I'm based in Florida, United States, and I've been running this company for about 7 or 8 months now. So it was a lot of dog days early on. And it still kind of is the dog days, but it's been awesome working with these guys. And yeah, that's my little intro pitch.
Yeah, that's it. So, just to give an idea to everyone watching, William, where were you before joining the program in terms of, how the business looked revenue wise,
Hmm.
compared to, how revenue looks now since joining? And if you can let them know how long you've been with us as well, that'd be great.
Yeah, sure thing. So before we started with EasyGrow, we started with EasyGrow I think 5 weeks ago. And when we started with you guys, our business it was starting to, I mean, I had been working at it a lot, and we were starting to, hit that growth curve. We were at 3,800 bucks, was our biggest month leading up till working with you guys. I think the biggest problem was our business was a total mess. I had no idea. I mean, I was just kind of winging it, watching YouTube videos. I was joining a few random courses before this, but when I hopped on the call with Jack, who was my sales guy for EasyGrow, I came inbound from a YouTube video, and I liked how Charlie learned from like Sam Ovens and a lot of these guys, and I knew the subconscious like mental aspect was a big part of this thing too. So I was like, you know what, why not just talk to Jack, see what's up, and the biggest thing this program has helped me with is really the systems. And I like I think I could have, like, right now, for example, we went from 3,800. We're now at last month we hit $10,100 on the month. And I think we would have gotten there eventually. I just think, like, with this program, I have so much more confidence as a business owner, and I actually feel like I know what I'm doing now. Whereas before this, it was such a mess. I mean, I literally, like, I had tabs everywhere. It was such a disorganized like nightmare. And I think this is just really the beginning. It's been an amazing month, but I mean, I'm really, really excited for what we are going to turn into as a company because of this program. It's been an absolute game changer. So that's kind of what I have to say about that so far. But
Yeah, love it. So we spoke, and you just, reaffirmed there, William. So it was like 3.8K per month with the agency. Things were slightly messy, and then you managed to scale it to 10K per month after, within a month of joining the program, which is fantastic. And with regards to like the first like 7 to 8 months prior to joining EasyGrow, I suppose, with the business, I know you said it was like quite a mess. What
mhm.
specific struggles that you were facing with the business that you've now managed to, fix?
I think the biggest thing, Nor, was number one, I was disorganized, obviously, and I didn't know what to do every day. So that's the first thing I'd say. I would log onto my computer and every morning, and I would go, I don't really know what to do today. I would just kind of guess, and I would plan out the night before as best I could, but I really didn't. I didn't really know what it meant to be a business owner, and what it really takes and what you actually need to do. But I think the most important thing, Nor, is it was it's Charlie has a YouTube video on this, and it's in the mindset module, but it's about the oscillating cycle of you get to a point where you kind of start feeling comfortable, and then you would just drop off. And I was doing that the entire 7 months. I mean, I would sign a client and then I'd get comfortable and then stop doing the work and we wouldn't grow. And I always knew like in like the past 3 months, I really took a look at what I was doing and I was like, I'm I'm just kind of self-sabotaging in a lot of ways. And there's something subconscious going on here that's kind of holding me back. And I don't really know what it is. And then saw that YouTube video by Charlie and I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what it is. So I think those two things, really just getting organized and knowing what to do, what's going to move the needle, but also number two, identifying, hey, when you hit certain milestones, you're going to start to get comfortable. If you're not aware of that, you're going to drop straight back down.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, a lot of people, um, when they step into the program, they purely think that it's just like the business stuff that they need to
Hmm.
succeed. And like you've seen it firsthand where the business stuff is great, right? But
Right.
it's more of that mental side that will
Hmm.
help massively, from your experience, right?
Massively. I mean,
Yeah.
it's changed totally the way I've thought in weeks. I mean, it's amazing, the mindset specifically.
Yeah.
So,
Love it. Um, and William, just to sort of like take a view through your lens, right? So you've got the business, it's making 3.8K per month. And I know, just before we started recording, you stopped, working with your clients and you went to zero just to just, sort of systemize things or improve things, sorry.
mhm,
You joined the program. Walk me through how you approach the program, right? To just suddenly achieve the growth you've achieved um within a month, because
mhm,
it's not really a common thing. Usually students have to, you know, get comfortable with the program, take the
mhm,
time taking notes, setting up the
mhm,
systems or whatever it may be. I'm really curious on my end just to see it through your lens on how you actually approach the program coming in and achieving the success you have in such a short space of time. Like what moved the needle for you in terms of strategy, any calls in
mhm.
particular, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, sure. That's a good question. So the first thing I'd say is speed. I mean, if you're in a hurry to get to your goal, like what I did is I joined in the first weekend. I think I joined on like a Wednesday or something and worked throughout the week. And then the first weekend, I literally just spent my entire weekend watching Acquisition Genesis. I mean, it's really speed because you got to get through the videos to start setting up the systems to actually start getting the results. And if you take I mean, like no offense to anyone, but some people are like, yeah, I'm on month two. I'm like halfway through Acquisition Genesis. I'm like if you're in a rush, like just watch all the videos. I mean, you can set aside a weekend and get through a whole module. I know they're long videos, but just like yeah, like I think I did all of Acquisition Genesis in 3 days, just taking notes all day, all day, all day, and then I went straight to the outbound system. And I think this also helped too. Was I picked an outbound system that I had experience with, and that was the easiest to set up. Full disclosure, I set up the Loom system and it took super long. And I, I was like, you know what? This probably just isn't the best use of my time. Like for what I'm doing, I think I can get faster results going to cold calling. So I started setting that up and I'm sure it works really well. I was just like, you know what? Cold calling seems more direct. It took about a day, like half a day to set up the cold calling. And that's immediately started getting me results. Also, Loomless cold email was quick setup. Um, so yeah, just get through the videos you need to get through as quickly as possible so you can then get to the actions taking parts. And then I think I spent the second entire weekend on the mindset part, which is super important as well. And then mindset, like those are obviously something you need to get through, but also you gotta keep listening to those. So in my free time, every time I'm taking a lunch break, I'm listening to one of the mindset modules. So I just say just speed of getting through the videos and then set up the outreach system that you think would work best for you as quickly as you can.
Yeah, love it. And you
And then also joining all the sales calls too, because that
yeah,
was another thing is all the live sales calls. That's where the money's made. And that's the most frustrating thing in the world when you do everything right and then you get up to the sales call and you're not able to close the deal. So the live sales trainings, you learn really quickly when you hop on those and do those practices. So
yeah, amazing stuff. And just to pull apart what you said there, like the first part you said speed, it's like success loves speed, right? And I see a lot of people, for example, they invest in not just our program, but many resources. I've been guilty of it in the past where you buy something and you're just getting information overload, or you're
Hmm.
just taking longer than needed, when in
Right.
reality, you just need to gun through it, like you said, and just start
Hmm.
acting. And it's almost funny because like even if you act without completing like a video in full, like if you just act alone, right, that'll get you a lot more ahead than if you spend like 2 months, trying to
Right.
finish the entire module. And it shouldn't take 2 months anyway. So I love that. And on your end, William, you mentioned, the sales training. I really want to dive into that in a bit more detail because with the program, you've got the obviously the course content that teaches you how to set up the systems yourself. You've also got the sales videos that shows you how to sell.
Hmm.
It'd be great for you to actually just dive into it a bit more deeper on how, those coaching calls really benefit you, because I think,
Hmm.
with a lot of programs, they do provide you with that do-it-yourself solution, but then
Hmm.
we also provide the coaching calls, which, like you said, it plays a big part in
Right.
sharpening your acts, getting personalized feedback on your own individual calls and objections, right? So how did they benefit you in terms of, helping you close more clients and overall improving your sales process?
I'd say number one, it just tightened up my sales process. I mean, I have about a year of sales experience that obviously helped and was part of the reason why like that helped me, move quickly. But the number one thing that the sales system with EasyGrow specifically helped me do is really just tighten it up. I mean, I was missing a lot of deals before joining EasyGrow because it wasn't really a tight sales process. I was doing like a two-step sales process. I'd do a 15-minute phone call, and a lot of the times I just wouldn't hear back after the first call. And I remember asking Jack on our actual sales call when he was trying to sell me EasyGrow. I got to the end of the call and I was like, dude, where'd you learn how to like do this? Like that was really good. Like I'm really impressed. And he was like, oh, it's in the program. It's in EasyGrow. I was like, oh, wow, awesome. So that was helpful. And yeah, the actual personalized calls though, I'd say most of mine has been with Jack, and he's been just even like yeah, he it's helpful to like when he addresses or like when your questions are addressed too, but it's really helpful just to even when he's addressing someone else's question and just the way he listens to everyone, you can just pick things up from feedback he's giving from other people too in a live setting that really just helps you, implement that. And it's really just repetition. That call is pretty. The sales call isn't like a once a week thing. It's like 3 or 4 times a week. So I hopped on that call every single day for the first, 3 or 4 weeks, and just that repetition there, and then be able to ask targeted questions and even show, recordings has been huge. So
Yeah, love it. And yeah, that's exactly it, where what you mentioned there, even if you don't get your own individual questions answered, right? Maybe you're just there to just take up value for
right.
other people. Some people ask questions that you're not even aware of. And you're like,
Mhm.
wow,
But
that's
all of them are relevant. I mean, the sales
exactly.
specifically is like no matter what niche anyone's in, if they have a sales question, it usually applies to you.
Yeah.
And if you listen, you'll learn from it. And then another thing I wanted to add too, real quick, there is the script too. I've never sold with a sales script before, and I just didn't really know, or I just never really considered doing that. And that's been such a game changer because on the sales calls, the anxiety is so much less because you have a proven sales script. I mean, sure, you got to learn how to sell too, but like having the sales script that you guys provide like on the side of the screen just puts your mind at ease because I'm like, I know exactly what to ask next. Like it's not gonna be like I don't have to like, you know, come up with stuff on the fly. It's like right there, it's proven. So that was also really big too.
Yeah, love it. I know you've only been with us for just a month, William. Are there any other calls that you joined by any chance, or has it just been the sales coaching that you've joined and just going through the like cold calling modules? Has there been anything else?
I'd say, well, I've joined a little bit of the outbound calls. The founder call is probably was one of my favorites too.
Nice.
Because you have direct access to multimillionaires and you can ask them questions, and it's super cool to like I'll just join and I'll set an alarm for 5 minutes before the founder call every week, and I'll come up with a cool question, like a question that would be helpful. And like the fact that you're a part of this program and you get access to people who've built multi-million-dollar businesses, I mean that's just so that's such an amazing thing to have access to because usually you're just learning. I mean, you get to learn from anyone you want from YouTube and stuff like that. But the fact that you can ask it, like Charlie, like yesterday, I asked a question to Charlie the other day or yesterday, and I was like, "Hey, I'm facing this specific problem with like inbox management. I'm trying to hire an inbox management. What would you do? And he said, do this, do this, do this. I was like, damn, like that's pretty amazing that I get to ask that through this program to someone who's, done it before. So,
Yeah, that's it. Love it. Yeah. And it just comes back to that point like we were speaking about where programs in its own, they're still good, right? Like you can have
mhm,
like the detail and all the videos to tell you what to do. But it's just that level of group support, but specifically the coaching calls, having access to, Charlie, Bo,
mhm,
even Jack in sales training and all the other coaching calls, it's a game changer because it's like, there's just some things that are probably won't be answered in the course naturally because it's specific to your situation, right? It's like, okay, how do I manage my inbox? How do I
mhm,
manage my client in this industry? How do I
right.
tackle this sales process, Jack? That's slightly different to this. So it's um it's an absolute game changer because you're getting the program and you're also getting tailored support. Um, which like you said, it's fantastic. So yeah, that's great. With how your sort of business was looking before, William, I sort of just want to do like a draw by draw comparison here. So before it was looking like, like you said, it was disorganized. You didn't know what you were doing in terms of everything's everywhere. Sales process, from what you mentioned, there wasn't one because you were just gunning it without a script.
Mhm.
And also in terms of team, was it just you or did you have anyone else with you?
I have a teammate. He's actually based in London.
Oh,
He handles like
that's
part of the back end of the business, but on the day-to-day operations, it's pretty much a one-man show right now on that front for
yeah,
client-facing
yeah.
stuff.
Perfect. So yeah, I'd love to know like how the business looked teams wise, systems wise, and all that stuff before joining compared to how it looks now after
Hmm.
just 1 month in terms of,
Hmm.
the systems you now have in place and how organized it is compared to
Hmm.
before.
I'd say systems, I still have some work to do, but it is way more organized. And systems, it's not a program problem. It's just I was focused on closing clients mostly last month.
Yeah.
Systems is a big thing I'm going to be focused on this month. Now that we're going to be really busy, and I need to put systems in place. But the business, so the bit this is actually something that like super low key helped so much was just watching Charlie go through videos and just seeing how he organized his tabs on Google, like on his Chrome profile. Because I had no folders. It was nothing was bookmarked, or if it was just random bookmarks of just hundred or tens of random websites. And Charlie was like, "All right, let me pull up my sales team's metrics," and he would just go boom boom. I was like, wow, I need to like do that. So
Yeah.
that alone is like saved me a ton of time getting organized. Another thing that I noticed you guys use a lot of is Miro boards. That's something I never used before, and that's been like I've started to build out systems. I haven't like fully done all like a lot of them yet, but it's so helpful to just see how you guys organize things, and then I could just copy what y'all are doing, like the methodology y'all are using. So like building system through Miro boards. Like if you don't have a visual way of seeing a system, it's really hard to like piece it together. But if you use like a Miro board, you have links to Google Docs on it, it's just a lot more organized and it gives you like a clear picture of what your business actually is instead of just a bunch of random Google sheets.
Yeah, for
So,
sure. 100%. And yeah, love it. Yeah, just staying organized is everything. I had like a similar thing before I saw Charlie
mhm,
and Bo. It's like folders. I'm like, oh, you can do that on, on
mhm,
Google. So yeah, as
yeah.
soon as I've done that, life has changed. So yeah, good
And it's
stuff,
such a
man.
bore like you don't think that organize like you think organize
Yeah.
like why is that important? It doesn't really sound important, but it is so important when you're starting a business
Yes.
because if you can't find things and you have to pause what you're doing for 25 minutes to go find a sheet of paper, it's really is like a big hang up and you got to get organized.
Yeah. Even like those little small bites of frustration that you have where you say, oh, I can't find it. And when you do find it,
Right.
you just tell yourself, oh, it's cool. I'll just do this again next time. It's no big deal.
Right.
I remember what this
It
is.
adds up.
It honestly does. It
Mhm,
does add up. So yeah, amazing. It sounds small, but it's a significant makes a significant difference. And yeah, I know mindset wise, William, I know you mentioned that's been a massive thing, from the
mhm.
get-go of the start of this conversation, right? Talk to me
Massive.
talk to me about how the version one of William looked, right, prior to joining the program. How did that version look in terms of, obviously you got your professional hygiene, but also your personal hygiene in terms of the habits and things
Hmm.
you have in place compared to the version 2 that I'm speaking to right now, who really
Hmm.
has everything in lock. How do the
Hmm.
two differ in terms of, the habits, the behaviors, the belief system even? How do you
Hmm.
differ compared to then to now that's helped you have the success you have now?
I feel like I had a lot of the discipline before, but I lacked really the deep down belief systems needed. And then also what my discipline would do is like I mentioned at the beginning, is it would oscillate. So I would get really disciplined and then I would get comfortable, and then I'd kind of fall off for like 3 days or maybe even more longer than that. Now, the mindset part of this program has helped so much for several reasons. The first reason is I don't know that like I don't interact with agency owners in my day to day like before joining the program, and I had like a goal, like my goal was like 40K per month by like a certain date this year. And that just seemed like such a big number to me. And I remember joining that first sales call with Jack, and I was like, yeah, like this is my goal. Like it just seems like super out of reach. Like I don't like I think I can get there. It's just like I don't talk to people. Like it's hard to like really imagine getting there when you don't really like interact with people that are doing those numbers and like or even like in the same sort of business as you. And I remember he was like, dude, if you get this program, you'll easily get it. And I was like, what? What? Like, it was like so weird to hear that. Like, but said it with such conviction too. He was like, dude, if you do this, what you're currently doing with this program, you will get there easily. I was like, wow. And then joining the program, a big thing with even outside of the mindset modules specifically, just interacting with people, you're like that Sam who posted that video the other day, he hit like 40 or 50K
Yeah.
recently, and just being in a even though you're not physically there, you're in a virtual room with people doing that consistently. You're joining live calls with people who do that consistently. It's like it totally shatters your belief system even without watching any of the mindset modules because you have proof. You're like, this guy did it. Like, I mean, it's doable. Like it's clearly doable. So that's the first thing I would say on the mindset. Just being in the room with the right people is huge. Number two, the mindset modules alone, like you probably could find that if you spent hours and hours reading boring books and scouring the internet, but like there's no way I would have found that information without the mindset modules. Um, it's totally changed like so much for me in such a short space of time, and I'm just like way more confident in where we're going because of that.
Nice.
It's just really clear that a big part of business I've learned is the subconscious like mindset part, and I knew that like when I quit my job and started doing this full time, I was doing this for about 2 months full time without the program, and I just kept like I would make 100 cold calls a day for a week, and I would like almost sign a client, and then I would just drop off for like 2 weeks, and I would look back and I was like, why the hell did I just do that? Like it doesn't even make sense. And then watching the mindset modules and you actually realize why you do what you do, and once you're just able to realize why, and like Charlie says, like bring the subconscious conscious, you can immediately fix the problems. Like when I noticed myself dropping off, like I noticed this on Tuesday. Like I hit 10K and I was like, dang, like I'm gonna have a beer and enjoy myself. And that was fine. Like I was cool with that. But then the next morning I noticed I was like, all right, I'm a little less motivated. And I think the old me without this program, even if I did hit 10K, I would have like slept in and probably like I probably would have been less motivated for like a whole week, maybe. And with this program, because I've watched the mindset models and understand how this works, I was able to within like an hour. I was like, all right, you're obviously feeling some comfort right now. Just now we know. I mean, now I know because of the mindset modules. It's just your comfort, and it's time to get back. I immediately got back to work, and I've been super disciplined for the past 2 days, even after hitting the goal. So, mindset is enormous. I mean, obviously, but it's been a huge help.
Yeah, love it, man. And staying on the topic of mindset, like we discussed this just before the call, and it'd be good to like just share this with people watching this because like a lot of people in your situation, William, like where they've left their full-time job, right? The agency's not really working the way they want it to work, right? They would
Hmm.
sort of just go on the defensive, whereas you just went on the offensive. I know you said, like we spoke about this, you literally packed up your bags, moved back to your parents for a while, and you're you're gonna
Hmm.
return to your own base now that you got the business back up and running. Like, what was like the what was like going through your head to actually go on the offensive rather than the defensive?
I think anytime this has been the case with my life, and I'm sure with a lot of people, is anytime you make a big change is when you realize like if you don't change now, it's like when are things ever going to change? And I kind of got to that point. I had quit my job before, like 2 years ago, or no, longer than that, like 3 or 4 years ago. I quit my job to start a like a freelance writing business, and that was a nightmare. But um, ended up, I got to the point again in my job, which is actually like a great job. I mean, and I just knew I was like, I'm just not, I just don't really care about this that much, and I know I want to start my own business, and um, I think I started to feel some comfort and success with the job, and like my life was going really well, and I was like, you know what, like this is great, but like I really want like that bigger mountain. I know I want to start a business, and if I don't start one now, like when will I ever start one? So I uh I just decided to go all in on it. So
Love it, man. And look, it's seems to have paid off so far. So good
so
stuff,
far,
man.
yeah,
And we're obviously at that 10K per month mark right now. And I know you mentioned the next goal, obviously the goal you initially wanted was the 40K per month mark.
yeah,
What's
for
the
sure.
what would you say the time frame on that is? Um, and yeah, talk to me about that. When do you want to hit it? And also, how do you want your business to look like compared to how it looks right now in terms of team members, potentially systems and all that good stuff?
We want to hit 40K by November 1st, and I would like to have an inbox manager in place slash SDR to free up my time to really focus on making the client experience as good as possible instead of, you know, chasing down emails all day. And number two, that's probably the main thing. I haven't really thought too much about it, but definitely have that outsourced or in-house. And then just have more systems in place in general. Honestly, I haven't thought too much about this question, but I have the revenue target 40K per month by November 1st, have inbox management hired out. Those are the two things top of mind for me.
Yeah, good stuff. And yeah, you got to like 10K within within a month, so 40K by November. I'm gonna hold you to it. I hope you're probably gonna do more, so I'm gonna put that pressure on you. And yeah, we'll definitely do a new interview by then as well. So keep an eye out, everyone. So another thing I want to mention, William, is pretty much right. I'd love to get your perspective on this, and I think I may know the answer because a lot of people like yourself, they are just a lot of people that I've interviewed like yourself, sorry, they're just on go, go, go mode and they barely get time to
Mhm.
sit and reflect. But I'm still going to ask this anyway. So you've gone from being in a position where the agency's a bit all over the place, you didn't know what you're doing, it's just a bit of a mess, to the point where you had to let your clients go just so you can figure stuff out, right? And you're also you mentioned you had to move back to your parents, I think garage you said, for a short while. And then fast forward to today, right? You're at 10K per month. You've got a sense of direction from a mindset standpoint. It sounds like you've got everything in place and you're locked in, and it sounds like you've got so much clarity. Have you taken the time to just pause and look at how much you've done in such a short space of time and really reflect on how, I'm not going to say how life's changed because it's only been a month, right? But just
Mhm.
how in general things have changed for you.
You know, briefly, but at the same time, even though like we were able to hit that, I'm still trying not to let any comfort or anything like that. And because of the program, I know like there's like reference back to the mindset module there. Um, you know, it like like I kind of like briefly reflected on it the day of, and I was like, this is awesome. Like we went we made a pretty high jump, significant jump. I mean, more than doubled the business in a month. So that was huge. I mean, it was I was very happy, and I was, I did reflect on it briefly, but I think the most important thing still, like we're still like really far from where we want to be. And I think it's really important that we stay focused. And I've been, I let myself celebrate briefly, but I was like, all right, let's get to bed on time and let's make sure we stay focused. So, um, that's my answer there. So,
Yeah, good stuff. It's the same framework of answer everyone gives me in your position, which is a good sign though, because everyone's like, hey, no, listen, I've reflected barely. But that's because I'm always
right,
looking at the next goal, the
right,
next goal, next goal, and
right.
it's a
Because it's too,
fantastic
it's like if
answer.
you go back, I mean,
Yeah,
if we went back down next month, it's like, well, I mean, we got to keep it now. Now that we hit it, I'm like, this is like we don't go below
yeah,
this number now. Like, there's no way.
exactly.
I
That's
think
the
that's really important.
bare minimum. Good
Hmm.
stuff, man. So yeah, as we wrap up this interview, William, as you already know, like we spoke about this just before we started recording, there's two sets of people watching this usually. The first set is consists of existing students. The second set consists of people that have yet to purchase the program and they may be on the fence or they
Hmm.
just may want to know more about it. So I want to start off with existing students. I know you've only been here again just for just a little over a month, but you've still
Hmm.
managed to achieve like a significant level of success. What would you say to those, existing students that are with us in the program that you've seen that perhaps they're struggling with it to see any success or they're facing problems? What would your key lessons be from, what you've learned in the short space of time that you've been here to allow them to succeed like the same way you have?
Hmm. I'd say number one is obviously don't give up and keep going at it. Because before I mean, it looks like we jumped pretty highly since just joining the program, but before that, I mean, it sucked. Like the past 7 months of my life have been like,
Yeah,
I mean, they've been like exciting in a way, but it's also been like really challenging, and it's been like super lonely, and like every day I'm like filled with doubts, which is part of it. But like I would say don't let your doubts trick you, because if you just keep working at it, again, like the mindset stuff says, you'll get there eventually. Just don't give up. Don't switch either. Like that's something too that helped us a lot was the first like 2 months of running the agency, I picked like two different niches and start hopping. And then November of last year, I said, all right, we're doing this, and we have not changed at all. We've focused on one product, one niche, and no matter how tricky it got, I was like, we're not. I don't care what happens. We're not changing a thing about the niche and the product. So that's number one. Pick one thing and don't give up, and don't let your doubts uh, run your actions. And then number two, it's just speed. Like watch the videos you need to watch quickly and set up the systems quickly. And I mean the action movers I've learned from the program obviously are booking meetings, closing deals, and making sure you're getting clients, your existing clients results, and then systemizing those three. And I'm actually doing the time exercise right now as we speak. I turned off the alarms for the video, but um yeah, just notice where you're wasting time, and refocus that towards things that are going to push the business forward, and just move quickly and don't give up.
love it, love it. And to the people that have yet to join the program, right? Um, could be they're on the fence, they want to think about it, or they may just not, they may have even yet to book a call with us, right? So what would you say to those people that are thinking about the program, from your experience, William?
I would say if you can't tell by now, like I don't really know how to help you. Like there's so many videos. Like that's what sold me. I mean, the sales call was great, and I kind of I went into it. I didn't really even know what EasyGrow was. I thought it was just something that helped you book appointments. And I was just kind of like bored, and I was like, maybe I could like use some help with booking appointments. So I scheduled the call, and I realized it's so much more than that. Obviously, I mean, booking appointments is the smallest thing I've learned from this. It's so much bigger. Um, and if you're serious about, I mean, if you're like doing a hobby business and you don't really care and you're in no rush, like maybe you don't need it. But if you're serious about growing your company, whether it's a consulting business or an agency or whatever, um, I think it should be pretty clear to you by now that this program's a no-brainer. I mean, I I don't really know what to say there. Like if you're serious, this is it. So,
That's it. Perfectly put. Yeah, and it goes without saying, like if you're willing to work as well. I see a lot of this is something that I say at the end of all my interviews, but it's important I say it. If you are looking for a magic pill that requires little to no work and no effort on your end, then
mhm.
do not book a call with us because
Right.
we can provide you with all the tools, resources, training, program courses, and all of that. And you've heard William and so many other students, praise it, right? But at the end of the day, these guys, like William, they put their head down and they worked. And there's no sort of magic shortcut where you can just instantly see success with no problems whatsoever. It's just part of the game. So if you're looking for zero struggles, and just instant success, this isn't for you. But if you are someone that is willing to work hard and has a proven roadmap, then actually wants to take their business seriously, like William said, you're probably a perfect fit for us. So yeah, really good stuff, William. And before we wrap this up, man, where can they find you if they wanted to keep up with your sort of journey with the agency side of things?
I'm most active on Instagram. It's William at, or excuse me, it's at William.mrussell. That's WILLIAM at MRUSSELL. I also have a YouTube channel. I don't really know. I don't even know what it's called off the top of my head. I haven't really set that up yet, but that's a goal this month is to set up
Yeah,
the inbound channel. I have a couple videos on there, but it's if you look up William Russell Solar, you'll probably find it somewhere.
yeah.
I don't really know what it's called, but
All good. We're gonna link everything relevant in the description below, guys. If you want to check out William and just keep up to date with him, we're for sure gonna do an updated interview because this is what William's only achieved in one single month. So give it till November, when he's gonna hit the next landmark, or milestone, and that's gonna be our updated version. So keep your eyes out open for that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the interview, guys. Be sure to check out some of our other stories as well because you can take a look at different businesses, different niches, different stories, just like William said, and you can really gauge an understanding of what the program can truly do for you. But yeah, hope you guys found this one valuable. I will catch you in the next one. Cheers.